these guys are gonna work it out. Under supervision, under the bigger dog. You know, that's how. So any problems? These guys got into a fight last time. So this lets them know the deal. Now, if this is two pit bulls, two female pit bulls, or the hatred runs deep, they've been in a ton of fights and the fights have gotten really serious. This wasn't that serious of a fight. There were no holes even. The worse the fights and the longer it's been going on, the less it's easy to just say you bring them back here and they sort it out. Because this was just one fight. If they've been doing it a long time and if the fights were really bad, like I've had in the past with my female pit bull, for instance, and another female pit bull who had probably been in at least 10 fights, it's a different story. It's gonna take a lot longer to heal that. But it can be done. And what helped me with my girl, with that situation, which I just didn't even think was possible, to bring these two, my female Layla and this other pit bull, back together. They just had so much hatred toward each other. They would have definitely killed each other, or fought until the death. And I didn't think that was possible to bring them back together. But I have to say, and that's when I took my girl to Brandon Fouché, and it was like I could do the follow-up work, but there was some sort of hurdle that I was not able to get her through, and I needed that help. And so he got her over this level, and gave me the keys that I needed through example, really, mostly, to understand how to finish that up. So I have to say that always. And this isn't over. You see the tension. It's okay. There can be tension. This is what I didn't understand before. I thought, everybody has to be friends. This is what I didn't understand with my life as well. Everyone, it has to be sorted out. That was, I'd say, a personal problem also. And so what I learned is that it sometimes doesn't have to be sorted out. For instance, agree to disagree. We're not going to like each other, and that's okay. So these guys are not going to be best friends, like, calling each other Friday nights, going to the movies. Just kidding. But it's not going to be, they're not going to be best friends. They're not going to like each other, probably. I'm talking about Cubby and Kuma back here, and that's fine. They don't have to like each other, but they're going to have to respect each other enough to not fight. And why, in their minds, will they do that? Because King Kong is going to come down and turn the world upside down, which would be me, metaphorically speaking, if that happens. Now, that's easier said. That's easier said than done. That's not see this tension, all sorts of tension. Now you could say something, and at the same time I'll never be done learning. And I'm not an expert at almost anything with the dogs, I would say. That might take, I don't know, 15 years, 20 years, whatever it is. But so obviously Cubby. See, Cubby's a bit of a punk. I don't mean to say that disrespectfully. I love Cubby. But, meaning, if he's stronger than a dog, he's going to bully that dog 100%. Now, he's not the only dog like that, but he loves to make dogs yelp, chase dogs down, cause trouble, cause problems, and then when it really comes down to it, he wants to just get out of there. And he's like, oh, my bad. And when he comes up against a real strong dog like him, Kuma. Now, Kuma's the same way. Kuma's driven by instincts. He's not as intellectual, I would say, as Cubby, but got a little less thought going into his actions. But they're both driven by instincts. But don't feel bad for Cubby, because Cubby will gladly chase down many of these dogs and make them squeak if he can, and has many times. And I always have to step in. So he doesn't like this situation where he's having a less powerful feeling, or feeling less powerful than a dog, and having to deal with that. So because no one can dominate Kuma, my job is to make him feel subordinate, which I do. I'm not going to do it right now just to show the camera, but so as long as I do that, then everything, as long as everybody has somebody over them here, then everything can stay, in line. He's not doing anything wrong. The time you get him is when they do something wrong. I learned that from Brandon also, but also through observation. That's when you have see all the yawning. That's the hanging, letting his head hang. See how he's just looking at him? Look at that. Now if that becomes predatory, I'm going to do that to him. Make him feel that way. It's not predatory, but it's kind of like, hey, you got something to say? No, I'm good. But at the same time, Cubby didn't start that problem between them. Hey! Say Cubby didn't start the problem, so it's not like he's going back on he started the problem and then now he doesn't want it. Kuma came because Cubby was playing, kind of. So that's an example of he's just staring a little bit too much. So I get to check him. See how he let his head hang, the way he let my hand touch his head. If they let you touch their head while letting their head hang, I'm not going to do it again just for the camera, because that can mess things up and confuse them, and so I don't want to do that. But I already touched his head, and he let me touch his head while hanging his head, letting his head relax. That means he was submitting to my hand, and his tail went a little bit, I think, and tried to lick my hand. Okay, that's nice. That's what I want. This is the state of mind I need him in. It's not like he's a punk for doing that. He's just being, okay, cool. I respect. He's letting me, have status over him in this world, and in the dog world. So. Doesn't mean he's not dominant. It is what it is, but